AEW should bring back CM Punk. And I know for a lot of you out there, that's a very controversial take. And a lot of people do not want to hear those words ever uttered. They don't want CM Punk to ever wrestle again. But hear me out. Because if done right, I truly believe that CM Punk and AEW could both make a lot of money and make a massive impact and move that figurative needle in the direction of success for the company. So we all know what happened. I don't need to retread it too much. CM Punk leaves. He does the press conference. They get into a fight with the Elite. He gets injured, which complicates things because we didn't know what was going to happen. Was he suspended? We don't know. Was he released? No, because he's injured, right? AEW can't release him while he's injured, and especially considering he got injured on their watch, it's a liability for them. So he's been put on ice. That was like one of the rumors and reports we heard a few months ago that CM Punk was figuratively put on ice, and they're just going to kind of see where the situation's going to be in a few months. CM Punk at one point wanted a buyout. Recently on social media, he's been hinting towards maybe wanting to come back. He's had like that exchange with FTR. He's been wild. CM Punk on Instagram has just been like dropping hints left and right like he's on BTE or something. But nevertheless, there's a lot of people who are interested in, seeing him back. And it's for good reason. It's the same reason that people wanted to see him when he came back in 2021. And it's because CM Punk, when he's on TV, you watch. And he's like just that big of a star. It's just one of those things I think for AEW. You have to be willing, right, to look at the landscape of your company and understand that while yes, you are doing a lot of great television without CM Punk, imagine what that TV would be if you had that full roster. Because remember, AEW never had the full roster like that they like cultivated in 2021. I'm like actually they had it for like 2 months before Kenny Omega got injured. But I'm talking about Kenny, Bryan, Punk, the Young Bucks, like all those big stars and all the people that they built up like MJF, like Absolute Ricky Starks, like Powerhouse Hobbs. Like if you insert CM Punk to this roster, it goes over the moon as far as like what it can accomplish, the fresh feuds you could have. There's a lot. And Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week was asked or said the following when he was discussing just general like the lack of big baby faces in AEW. He noted this. He said, and I quote, "Punk's not going to be that guy either. I know some people might say, well, Punk's coming back. Punk may come back. He will be available to come back if they want to use him in a couple of months. It's not like it's so far in the future. Of course, if they were to bring back Punk, that opens up a lot of issues that we could talk about another day. That's a weakness. There's no easy answer. It's not like you can snap your fingers and create a babyface. So, of course, Meltzer was talking in the context of babyface, but he also kind of said, like, he could be back because, again, the dude has not been released. The talks of buyout, AEW is not discussing a buyout with him. So for me, in my mind, it's one of those things of, okay, so maybe we're in a situation where Tony Khan's like, all right, he's going to be injured for like 8-9 months anyway. Let's see where we are then and move forward from there, which is the right approach. The only caveat of bringing CM Punk back that I have, and it's a big one, if the locker room universally rejects him in that they don't want him there, which, according to multiple sources, Chris Jericho and a few other people were not happy with the way things went down at All Out. They were not happy about it, and I think CM Punk does need to earn that trust back because when he went out there and he shot on Hangman Adam Page, both times he shot on Hangman Adam Page, for what I think everyone who thinks about things logically, like, saw as it was working. Hangman Page was working. Like I understand people who want to be like, no, Hangman Page buried CM Punk by uttering a line, blah blah blah. Guys, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. What CM Punk did when he called out Hangman Page on TV was bad, and then he went on the press conference and then just went all out, took things out of context, and just whatever. You can call me a Hangman Page fanboy. I don't really care. But what I do care about, and what I think Tony Khan, if he's going to make this decision, should care about, is the effect that it can have on the locker room. And if the locker room universally rejects Punk, if they say we don't want Punk, then you can't bring him back. And if Punk is not willing to make amends with the locker room, as many people said, the reports came out from Fightful, reports came out from Wrestling Observer and other sources saying the same thing. If Punk doesn't make amends with the locker room, they don't want him back. So it's a wild, wild time in AEW. It's been a wild, wild time. But again, from a business standpoint, you can't tell me that Kenny Omega versus CM Punk, especially after what happened, isn't a big match. You can't tell me that the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega versus FTR and CM Punk wouldn't be a big match. You can't tell me that CM Punk, a rematch between CM Punk and Darby Allin wouldn't be a rematch. You can't tell me that Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk wouldn't be a big match in AEW. Those all would be. They would draw so much money. The MJF match would draw more money. Like, it is a business decision too. We need to remember that this isn't just a locker room wrestling decision. It's also a business decision. It's just trying to weigh those things out and weigh the risks and the rewards of those situations that Tony Khan needs to look at. But if CM Punk isn't universally rejected by the locker room, and if he's genuinely willing to make amends, big if I know, they need to bring him back. Because he's, at the end of the day, this guy has made a career off of, one, obviously being a good wrestler, but really he's made a big time career out of having those big mic moments, those must-see moments. Whether or not you liked what CM Punk said at the post All Out press conference, we were all watching. Everybody watched that thing. Like, eyes were glued because CM Punk was being CM Punk. Same reason why people tuned in at 10 p.m. on a Friday night on Rampage to watch his return. 1.3 million people tuned in on Rampage Friday night, 10 p.m. to watch CM Punk's return. Say what you want. When CM Punk does those big moments, it's must-see TV. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Should CM Punk return to AEW? Should they never bring him back? Should he never wrestle again? Should he just start a dog walking business? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.